Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden mechanics of American influence. You know, if you're the kind of person who loves figuring out how all the massive pieces of our world actually fit together, well, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to map out exactly how a superpower projects its presence. We're talking everything from the secret history buried literally right beneath our feet to the wealthiest concrete jungles on Earth, all the way up to the stars. Here's our roadmap for today. First up, the rise of a superpower. Then, we'll look at America's wealthiest cities. And finally, the next frontier, Mars.
Let's jump right into Section 1, Rise of a Superpower.
Okay, so think of these as the massive structural shifts that completely altered the globe. Back in 1898, the Spanish-American War dramatically expanded the country's global reach. Then, you fast forward to 1945, and boom, we see this absolutely unprecedented post-World War II economic surge. Skip ahead again to 1991, bringing the end of the Cold War. These aren't just dates on a page. They're the undeniable anchor points that locked in modern geopolitical power.
But here's the thing. Global influence isn't just about what you read in some standard history textbook. It's actually heavily embedded in hidden, quiet architecture. To truly understand how a superpower operates, we have to peel back the curtain and look at what is intentionally kept entirely out of sight. The hidden secrets, right?
I mean, just take the White House, for example. The physical structure of the presidency is reinforced by these incredible hidden features that the public just never sees. We're talking deep underground bunkers designed for absolute worst-case scenarios, concealed passages allowing for totally secure movement, and, yeah, even private recreational facilities. It's wild to think about, but the most famous house in the world is, at its core, a literal fortress built for survival and high-level strategy.
Moving right along to Section 2, America's wealthiest cities.
Now, all those political engines we just talked about, they run on serious capital. When we look at gross domestic product, New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago completely lead the pack. I mean, these aren't just your standard massive population centers, they are absolute financial juggernauts. They're generating the insane levels of wealth required to actually sustain that superpower status. So if the political capital is the brain of the operation, these cities are absolutely the heartbeat.
But here's where it gets interesting. Immense wealth creates this fascinating friction. Just consider the New York paradox for a second. It is famously America's most expensive city. We all know about the exorbitant rent and those sky-high daily living costs, yet everyone still wants to be there. They're drawn to the vibrant culture, the unparalleled economic opportunity, and just the sheer global prestige. It is this incredible push and pull dynamic. So you have to ask yourself, why on earth do people flock to a place that demands so much of their resources?
Well, the answer really lies in one staggering number, 8.3 million people. The untold story of New York City is all about this almost unstoppable cultural gravity. Despite those massive costs and the intense daily friction of just trying to exist in such an expensive environment, the sheer density of opportunity simply outweighs the financial burden. So what's our main takeaway here? It's that true economic engines pull people in like a giant magnet, completely regardless of the price tag.
Now, if we head out west, the truth about Las Vegas reveals a totally different flavor of urban wealth. This place isn't built on traditional finance or centuries-old shipping ports. No way. It's an economic powerhouse conjured out of pure spectacle, entertainment, and, well, illusion. It rises miraculously straight out of the barren desert. It really goes to show that wealth doesn't just come from Wall Street and stock markets. Sometimes it's manufactured right out of neon lights and pure consumer desire.
Which brings us to our final act, Section 3, the next frontier, Mars.
How NASA is preparing humans for Mars is, frankly, so much more than just a fascinating science project. It is the incredibly ambitious, totally natural next step for a global superpower. Because expanding human presence beyond Earth, that's really about projecting technological dominance, absolute organizational mastery, and sheer unwavering willpower straight into the cosmos. Honestly, it is the ultimate flex of both historical and economic power.
And there's a step-by-step roadmap that turns all this abstract science fiction into very concrete reality. First up, establish a sustained lunar presence. Thoroughly test our capabilities a bit closer to home. Step 2, develop those deep space transport vehicles, ones actually capable of long-haul survival and carrying super heavy payloads. And then finally, execute a human landing right on the Martian surface. When you break it down like this, it reveals a highly structured, incredibly systematic approach to doing the impossible. I mean, you don't just get to Mars by accident, right? You get there through the exact same calculated infrastructure that built the richest cities on Earth. It really is the natural next step in the superpower's trajectory. Think about everything we've covered today, from the Spanish-American War back in 1898 to those crazy subterranean bunkers hidden securely under D.C., all the way to the towering economic engines of New York and Vegas. That massive drive for expansion, security, and influence is just woven so deeply into the very fabric of the United States. And Mars? Well, Mars is simply the newest, grandest canvas for that historical drive.
So I'm going to leave you with this one provocative thought to kind of connect our earthly urban wealth directly to our big space goals. If our richest, most expensive cities completely define the last century of power, what exactly will the first great American city on Mars look like? Will it be this purely functional, highly secure bunker, kind of reminiscent of those hidden secrets in the Capitol? Or is it going to evolve into an expansive, bustling hub of opportunity and culture, sort of like a Martian New York City? I really hope this explainer sparked your curiosity to explore these topics even further. Keep learning, and I will see you in the next one.